It's not very far from Hyderabad to Chennai, but he's trying to imagine someone making that journey and getting onto a train that, well, is on its way, just chugging, a mail train, stopping at every station along the way. That seems to be the sort of journey for Hyderabad today in their 10 overs against Chennai. They were the urgent team. They were the ones who needed the quick runs. And they've lost two of their key players in Jason Roy and Captain Kane Williamson. So where will this innings go from here? Ridhiman Saha is motoring along, 37 of 36. But on Cricbuzz Comm, we'll try and assess what they can do in the next 10 overs in the company of Harsha Bhogle. Harsha, that first ball that kept low, was that an indicator of things to come?
I'll tell you what else is not going to happen. They're not going to get to my 160. No, they're not. I mean, they need to get a move on now, Gautam. Yes, the track is not what I thought it would be based on what we heard and what we read, because this is not the old Sharjah track. The ball's coming on, you're hitting out of the ground, even though Saha early on hit a couple of sixes. But you can see that the ball's not really coming. Maybe it's not as sticky as some of the earlier pitches, but they really do need to get a move on here, Hyderabad, because Saha's sort of lent a little stability, but at the halfway mark, he's scoring at 100. And so are they scoring at 100. Even if they get 80 in the back 10, then they're looking at 140, 145. That's a bare minimum of what they need. So looks like you might be closer than me.
Well, it was, pure conjecture because going high was not really helping. But from a bowling perspective, someone like a DJ Bravo coming back into the side, they must have just seen this saying that, okay, we did rest him the previous game, but if we were tempted to rest him here, let's change our minds because this is suited for him.
It is, but if you can make out that he's not quite, he's just jogging to the crease. He bowled a couple of wides, but he's bowled this ball that looks like it's going to be above waist high when it leaves the hand and just dips on you. And it's a ball he's bowling more and more of. We saw Harshal Patel bowl that. He's bowling a lot more of that too. 1 over 1 for 4. He's come in. I found that extraordinary that the non-striker was asking the batsman to take a review and the batsman said no and walked off. And you could see why. There was no chance that review was going to come in handy. But they really need to, because you see now, Priyam Garg is batting. They've got Abhishek Sharma, Abdul Samad. I think they need to push Holder up the order. But yeah, it's asking a lot of those people to now get them to 140, 145 from here.
Because he comes across, Harsha, as the kind of batsman who may not necessarily look at the track. Obviously the likes of a Jason Roy like the ball coming onto the bat. But with his long stride, he can just turn a slower ball into maybe a full toss or just reach for it and send a few out of the ground and get them to something that they can bowl at.
So I'd be very interested in seeing what Hyderabad are planning now. Obviously, by now, they've worked out what score they would like to score. And if that score is 140, then they're still doing okay. Not great, but they're still doing okay. But if they think against the might of Chennai on this track, they need to get 150, 155, then they need to get a move on now. And not start clobbering sixes, but start looking at 8 and over. Just go 8 and over for the next 3 overs. Then you get to 84. Then you go at 10, 11 and over. Maybe just go 9 and then leave wickets in hand to go 12 in the end. But I'm not sure there's that kind of surface still.
Not that Hyderabad needed any help from Cricbuzz Comm, but they've got it anyway, Harsha. As we chatted, skied in the air, Priyam Garg goes, DJ Bravo, miles up in the air, MS Dhoni just waits under it and says, thank you very much. Saha's still there.
There's two teams that if good intent could get you runs, then could get you results, and Kolkata and Hyderabad would not lose because they've really backed the Priyam Gargs and all the others, but it's not working now. He's got number 4. Here's Priyam Garg. You know what? I'm batting number 4 in an IPL game. Wow. But I think they've got to look beyond. So now at this stage, maybe the left-hander, Abhishek, but they'll need to look at big hitters thereafter.
I'm going to correct you there, Harsha. I suspect you started out meaning good intentions, which means giving players a longer rope. But intent is the word I was going to come to because that's the one thing that seems to be missing in Hyderabad's approach. Subtle difference in the word, but
I said, intent is also a very popular word these days in cricket circles. But yeah, intent is not only go and slam sixes. Intent is not only intent is okay. I'm looking for 2 here. I'll hit in the gap. I'll run hard. I'll take 2. I'll do that 3 times in an over.
Something David Warner was so good at when he found a track that was not to his liking.
But I don't know if this David Warner is that David Warner. That's a call that people have to take. I don't know if he's got sandwiched. I don't know what's happened there. So it's best I don't want to head in that direction. But the truth is 66 for 3 now, and Bravo bowling well on this track. I think they're in trouble.
They are. And with the only left-hander having walked out, maybe MSD will say, look, Moin, I know you've forgotten what it is like to bowl, but why don't you come on and turn your arm over?
Especially since all the talk has been about Moeen Ali being the third highest wicket taker in terms of English spinners all time, maybe third or fourth all-time list. But he might slip an over in just in case one of the bowlers goes. He might slip an over in, though at the moment it doesn't look like he needs to, because all the bowlers have done okay so far.
I think this is going to come from left field. I'm just going to throw out a prediction over there. The only person who's going to get runs is someone who walks in fearless and enjoys his batting, and that's Rashid Khan. Something tells me that they'll get to the end of the innings. and he's in everyone's team. He's in everyone's team. Honestly, this has got nothing to do with the team, but he's just been the kind of person who'll just scrap his way to 24 or 14 balls and hopefully get them to something. Otherwise, as Harsha said, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And guess what? My prediction was right. On cue comes on Moeen Ali to bowl to Abhishek Sharma. So it's one of those things. Yes, maybe he's following a pattern, but let's see if Moeen can live up to expectation. For now, Hyderabad in a bit of trouble. Can someone rescue them, please, so we can have something to talk about at the mid-innings? Thank you, Harsha. That's all on Cricbuzz Comm Box.